Welcome back to another UFC fight prediction video. In this video, I'll be predicting the prelim fights for UFC on ESPN 12, Poirier versus Hooker. So without further ado, let's get to our first fight on the card and our first fight on the prelims. So in our first fight, we have in the featherweight division, Woodson versus Julian Erosa. So this is actually looking like a pretty decent fight for Julian Erosa. He has some solid striking. What's really most issue with Julian Erosa in his career is his defense, his striking defense. I mean, there are some grappling issues he could fix, but really it's been him backing up with his chin up, and he gets caught by a kick or overhand or straight because he's backing straight up, and his chin is always up on the swivel. But this is looking like a decent fight because he's fighting a fighter like Woodson who's very long, and he used to being very long. I think he's 6'2", and Julian Erosa is like 6'1", 6 feet. So it's two longer fighters. So where Woodson is like a longer fighter, used to likes to fight on the outside. You're not going to fight a fight that's going to be rushing. I mean, necessarily closing that distance to crack, or at least you don't expect him to. But given the fact that you've seen that Julian Erosa has lost several times, but I think Woodson will still do regardless. But if he doesn't, that opens up opportunities for Julian Erosa. I think Julian Erosa is the better grappler in this fight. I think Woodson's weaker area still is grappling. I think that's area he needs to work on. But he does have solid takedown defense on top of that. But if Julian Erosa is able to find a way to get to the ground or to keep it at a distance fight, I think Julian Erosa has a good shot. But I'll see cut and dry. I think that Woodson is faster, more versatile, a little bit cleaner on the defense. And I think he can find that right hand on Erosa with his chin up. I think it's going to be good fill-out process. I think the strike will be close. But I think once Woodson fills him out and sees his opening, he's going to set him up, catch him with the right hand over top. And I think he stops him in the second round. So in this fight, I got Woodson via second round TKO. Now to our next fight we have in the featherweight division, Jordan Griffin versus Youssef Zalal. So in this fight right here, Zalal, I think he's like, one fight in the UFC. Jordan Griffin's like 4 fights in UFC, but I think his record was like 500 in UFC. I think like 2-2 or something. Not the best record in UFC, and not coming off the best win. Zalal is good in his last fight, but he's only just gotten in UFC. He fought a guy that had no real experience against any real good fighters. But all that being said, I'm looking at the actual skill sets, and I think I'm gonna see where I'm gonna lean to. So Jordan Griffin, decent striking. He's definitely creative out there. Definitely tactical on the feet, fast, sharp. But I think Zalal's faster, more versatile, changes his combos together better. I think with Griffin, his combos are more predictable. They're not completely predictable, but it's more so he kind of just throws them out there. Sometimes like he's kind of more free spirited, but like Zalal, he really sets his stuff up, like he's striking up like. Sometimes like Griffin just be doing the flying knee and God to throw a bunch of punches. That sometimes leads to why he gets taken down so many times in some of these fights. But Zalal is a little bit more clean, controls the distance better. And like I said, he'll actually set his striking up. So I say Zalal is the better striker. Griffin's the better grappler. But Zalal has the better wrestling. And a lot of times with grappling, it's about who has the better wrestling. But I think both of them have questionable takedown defense. But how I see this fight going, I think Zalal will be the one winning the wrestling exchange. That they're going to feed Zalal is just more versatile, more technical on the feet. I think he sets the striking up better. Like I say, he's faster, sharper, and he sets the striking up better. I think that's what's going to happen in the fight. Be a lot of takedown, a lot of scrambling, but I think Griffin will have takedown. But I think Zalal will still be the one. If they go for takedowns, Griffin probably had 1 takedown to Zalal's 3 on the feet. I think Zalal outstrikes him by 10 strikes at least on the feet. But still competitive technical fight, but I think Zalal just his cleaner technique just shows cases in this fight, and I think he outstrikes and just outfights Griffin in this fight over 3 rounds. Probably close, probably competitive, probably exciting, but Zalal, I think his technique and how he changes combos get better in the setup, distance control with his all shines in this fight. And I think he wins this in a close competitive decision. So in this fight, I got Youssef Zalal via decision. Now to our next fight we have in the women's strawweight division, Hansen versus Jin Frey. And this one, I'm just going to go straight to the point. So, Hansen is 20, Jin Frey is 35. So, 15-year age disadvantage for Jin Frey, or maybe you could say that Hansen is green and Jin Frey has experience and she's not completely old and over the hill yet. But, she's fought better fighters, whereas Hansen is young and more inexperienced. But what I've seen this fight, I see a grappler versus a striker match. Yes, Jin Frey probably has grappling as well, but from what I've seen, when she got taken down, she looked like a fish out of water almost. Like she was in just flat on her back and was looking like Kimber Slice back in the day. But I didn't like what I seen. Like she was too content to be on the ground. Wasn't seeing her working back to stand, and Like most of her opponent was just transitioning on her very easily and doing what she wanted. And like I said, she spent the whole round on the ground. She didn't get finished. I mean, she probably by BJJ standards, she didn't do a bad job. But in a May fight, when you're getting taken down, somebody's able to pretty much coast on top of you for a round. That's not a good look. Now you're going against a grappler. And also, Jean Frey, she's a striker, but I think her striking pattern is pretty predictable. She'll do a couple 1-2s, then a kick here, then she'll run in and do a 1-2. Like her drop the hand. Like she got some really predictable striking. So when she's running in with that 1-2, you could duck under, get a takedown. When she's doing those big windmill kicks, you could catch it and take it down. And you're going against a grappler. I think that's what happens. I think Kay Hansen's able to duck under her punches. I think she's able to catch her kicks. I think she's able to at least hold her own on the feet and then find those opportunities for takedowns. And I think in each round she gets a takedown and she controls her for large portions of those rounds, if not the whole rounds, once she gets those takedowns. And I think she kind of coasts to a decision almost in this fight. So in this fight, I got Kay Hansen via decision. Now to our next fight we have in the welterweight division, Takashi Sato versus Brahimaj. So this one's kind of straightforward. Brahimaj, or whatever his name is, solid grappler, decent wrestling, not the best, highest quality wrestler, but decent enough at least for outside of UFC. We don't know how he's gonna look inside of UFC with wrestling, but outside of UFC look all right. Striking look decent. He's more so of aggressive striker, not the cleanest striker, but he'll kind of crash into you, land some big shots, get some takedowns, put the volume on you, and like really make you embrace the grind and be in your face. Against Sato, that's not the best style. Kind of like crashing in, and Sato has a real good right hand, a real good counter. So Rami's doing that. It was going to get him knocked out if he does that. And Sato's takedown defense is good enough to shut down Rami's takedowns. So what I really see this fight is Sato taking advantage of Rami's aggression. And also, let me step back against Rami. Like, one thing I don't like when a fighter coming to UFC off a terrible win. Like, he's coming off a win off a guy who's 5-5, or probably was 5-4 when he fought him. And he was looking decent in his career, and he went 2-2. And then he came coming to the UFC off a win over a legit spinach can. I don't know, some can that's even less than a regular can. Like, I don't know, a real low quality can. So I'm not really liking him at all at this moment. And from center style, I just really see Sato taking advantage of his aggression, countering him, cracking him, shut his takedowns. I just think showing that his better striking, his more power, and cleaner composure, experience, and just picking apart Rami's Brahimaj, defending the takedown, walking him to counters, and picking him apart. And I think he stops him in the first round. So in this fight, I got Takashi Sato via first round TKO. Now to our next fight we have in the heavyweight division, Felipe Lins versus Tanner Boser. So with this one right here, I think these are two technical heavyweight fighters, not just the big load up and look for a finish type heavyweight fighters. Two fighters that look for their openings, set the openings up, got good foot movement, got good range control, and good fight IQs. And I think they're both experienced, and they've both been championship level fighter or won championships outside of UFC. So that showcases in their fighting. But how I see this fight is, I think Lins packs more power, a little bit faster. And I think it was coming down like two technical fighters, but Lins, a little bit more in his arsenal, throws a little bit more volume. I think he'll land a little bit more. So his work rate and strikes landed per minute will be what put it over for him. So he's going to be the fastest fighter. He's going to be doing more volume. He's going to be landing more strikes. In the competitive fight, I think it's a finish. Because like I said, Tanner Boser knows, has good footwork, has good control. He's not going to be a fighter that's going to be a walk in on and just do what you want on. Because he's going to have counter and stuff set up. So you got to respect that. But all that said, Lynn still be the one doing more strikes, landing more of those strikes. And he's going to be the one pushing the pace in this fight. Whereas Tanner Boser's probably going to get pushed to the back. I mean, on the back foot a lot. But he's going to be respected. We're going to have good defense and not just be there to be hit. But Lins, like I said, the work rate is going to be what pushes it over for Lins. So in this fight, I got Felipe Lins via decision. Now to our prelim headliner, we have in the lightweight division, Luis Pena versus Karma Worthy. So look at this fight right here. You got two longer lightweights. I'm forgetting who Karma Worthy just beat. But he beat Devontae Smith. So a fighter with a lot of power. Definitely leans to that power and speed, but on the smaller side of the height equation. So he had kind of load in, and plus they trained together before, so he saw it, countered it, and put him away. Would have happened every single time, but don't think so. But he definitely did, and it definitely wasn't luck. It was something he saw and something he took advantage of. But I don't think those same opportunities are here in this fight, because Luis Pena is two taller fighters in Karma Worthy and Luis Pena. Luis Pena is faster, doesn't pack as much power, but he has better boxing, better wrestling. And Karma Worthy has questionable grappling, questionable wrestling. I really just think Luis Pena on the feet just goes for uses speed, beats him up from the outside, doesn't really rush in on anything, or doesn't need to rush anything, and rarely ever rushes for anything. I think he just uses speed, uses footwork, picks him apart from the outside. When those wrestling opportunities present himself, when Worthy's loading up, offering these big shots, I think he goes for a takedown, then dominates him on the ground, lands some ground and pound, wears him out over the course of the first 2 rounds. Then rinse and repeat, gets him down, pounds him out. Probably early on that 3rd round, once he already has him worn out, just goes for takedown early, take him down, pound on him in transition, gets his back, and then sinks in the rear naked choke. So in this fight, I got Luis Pena via 3rd round submission. And that concludes my fight predictions for the prelims of UFC on ESPN 12, Poirier versus Hooker. And as always, thanks for watching. Now to our